Joining us now with more reaction, investigative columnist for the Daily Signal, Tony Kinnett. Tony, kind of your reaction to Jack Smith dropping his charges against Donald Trump.
Would it be inappropriate to do the Trump dance on air, like right now? Because
yes.
Professionally,
you have to put on a football helmet.
Yes.
Professionally, the core analysis is that this has to severely fracture an already just collapsing Democrat establishment. The left has ran not on a vision to move towards, but moved on a vision against Donald Trump and against conservatives and moderates in the United States over the last couple of years. And because they ran against Trump instead of to something new, you heard Bill Clinton talking about this in analysis just yesterday, there's a sentiment that all Trump has to do is sidestep those attacks, and the left has nothing. And lo and behold, here we are, the end of November 2024. Trump has not only won the election, but the left's last case that this Hitler-esque Orwellian figure that was going to rule the nation and Jack Smith was our only hope, break out the weird candles again, seems to have completely fallen apart. And boy, couldn't happen to a much nicer group of people.
And I've said all along that I can't imagine any outcome of these cases which would change any votes. So the fact that this has happened, it's like everybody knows it's out there. No matter what would happen, people either like Trump, they don't like Trump, whatever it wasn't going to have an effect. I want to twist a little bit here, Tony, to another issue that's going on, and that is the cabinet level appointments. And I wanted to take a look at some of the women. Apparently, he does have strong women around him. They include Pam Bondi, Tulsi Gabbard, Kristi Noem, also Linda McMahon. We're seeing the list here. Brooke Rollins, Agriculture Secretary. That's kind of a new one. We didn't know that's what it was going to be. Jeanette Neshawat and Lori Chavez Dreamer, I should say. And Susie Wiles, Caroline Levitt, Elise Stefanik, United Nations Ambassador. I don't know if all these need to, you would know better. Do all of them need to be approved? The Senate, most of those need to be approved.
The press secretary doesn't need to be.
Okay.
Neither does the chief of staff, but those are just
you've
people
worked
working.
With some of these people.
Yeah, those are people just that are working within the White House. But yes, the cabinet appointees definitely need to go through.
Yeah, and you said all along that he does have strong women around him.
Of course he has strong women around him.
And here are a few.
And here are a few of them. And he's not intimidated by strong, powerful women. He always consults them for their advice. He might not take it all the time, but he doesn't do that with the men either, Bob. So there's nothing different about him in that regard.
It's kind of their job is to carry out his vision. So, Tony, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, what strikes me is, this is kind of funny. I don't know if we have it here. But there was criticism from the AP that there was such diversity of different views. Here, Trump 2.0 has a cabinet, basically such a diversity of views. Where is the anchor vision that's going to go forward, right? The criticism before is these were all going to be people to just do whatever he said. He was going to be a fascist figure. And now they're saying, well, they're all so different. Where's the guiding light? So,
when I see one of these moments in which Trump is picking an extremely ideological, diverse cabinet, and also, for what it's worth, for those who care about such things, a racially and sexually diverse cabinet, I will remind everyone yet again, this is something the left ran on that wasn't going to happen. And now here it is. It's one of the reasons why, at least from the ideological differentiation, why Trump has a 59% transition approval rating at the present time, and it's trending upwards. So when you actually see, Tulsi Gabbard and Kristi Noem coming to the table, not to mention the new Labor Secretary nomination, who's very pro-union, and goodness, the many others, I'm struggling to do the amount of research to look into all of these individuals and their various backgrounds. There are going to be some colorful conversations that are going to, at least in theory, are going to provide the opportunity for great policies to come forward. I don't want policies coming out of the White House that have been glad-handed by yes men and just the kissing up festival. I want Tulsi Gabbard and Kristi Noem to duke it out in a cabinet meeting and the best policy for Americans to come forward, because that's what we're seeing from these picks. Ideological diversity breeds better policy. And if Trump has the final say, well, that's what Americans voted for him to have. And I think that what you're seeing is not just a cabinet of mavericks, but a cabinet of mavericks not only designed to shake up the system, but maybe even shake up how cabinet meetings have worked in the United States over the last 78 years.
Tony, one question, just a few seconds here. We know that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are joined together to eliminate, the waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, DOGE. Are you encouraged that on the House side, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been appointed to work with that committee, and on the Senate side, Joni Ernst?
I am. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is that we cut out of these programs. As a Hoosier and loving parks and recreation, the scene of Ron Swanson shouting "slash it" over and over at local government spending is something that resonates with a lot of us across the Midwest. And
slash it, slash it.
To see congresswomen actually being appointed to the position of working with this kind of informal government analysis agency, I'm looking forward to seeing what they hack and slash.
Well, Tony, we appreciate your insights, and I think the Hoosiers will make the playoffs. They should, no matter what happens Saturday.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll all be rooting for Coach Sig. Bob Kelly, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony Kinnett.